John Falkenbury, welcome back to North Carolina now.
Well, thank you very much, Mitch. It's a pleasure to be here. As always, you guys do such a marvelous job.
And we appreciate that. You are the president and CEO of the USO of North Carolina. Remind our viewers about your mission.
Well, I tell you what, it's a mission that we've done very proudly for over 70 years. It's very simple. We serve and support our men and women in uniform, their families, and in this state, our military retirees as well.
And you operate several centers around the state. Talk about those locations and just how important they are.
Well, I tell you what, our genesis was over at Camp Lejeune, Jacksonville. That is the oldest continuously operating center in the world. Even after World War II, when all the centers and USO closed down, that one stayed open. And in 2004, we had a growth. And we left the Jacksonville area. We still have the center in Jacksonville, but we established a center in the Raleigh-Durham Airport in 2004. In 2006, we put the Charlotte Douglas Airport Center. 2008 on Fort Bragg. 2010, we launched a mobile unit to allow us to go places that we don't have fixed centers like Seymour Johnson Air Force Base or Elizabeth City or National Guard Armories. And last fall, we opened up the 5th fixed center at the Fayetteville Airport. And we opened up an information desk at the New Bern Regional Airport to help our Marines over at Cherry Point.
With all these fixed centers as well as the mobile center, do you get any type of government funding in order to keep these places open?
No, you know, we're very proud that we rely on the generous donations of North Carolinian companies and individuals. We're not funded by the National USO, but I tell people, if you're going to write a check to the USO, understand that you need to help the guys at the national level, because we have over 160 USO centers around the world. So if you're going to write a check, send half of it to support our national effort and the other part to support your local North Carolina USO as well.
And what are some of the programs that those donations will be going towards?
Well, you know, as I said, we are a Health and Human Service organization. We run 3 airport centers. So if you think of a US Airways Club Lounge and you walk in and you have free Wi-Fi and food and television, rest and relaxation area, we have that. It's complimentary to all the troops. In fact, a troop walked into to our Charlotte airport one time and said, "Wow, we're in a VIP section." And our director said, "Dude, you are a VIP." Because that's what these troops and their families mean to us. But beyond that, particularly at our Fort Bragg and over at Camp Lejeune in Jacksonville, we're there day and night when these troops are deploying. We have volunteers. They're the heart of the organization. I call the volunteers the heart, taking care of the soul, our men and women in uniform. And last year, we served over 407,000 men and women in uniform and their families, to include about 44,000 deployments and homecomings, because our Marines and our soldiers and our airmen from Fort Bragg and Camp Lejeune, Cherry Point, Seymour Johnson were deploying into harm's way. And there was a volunteer there to say hello and to say goodbye. So we do that. We also have morale builders, that we deliver birthday cakes to single Marines and single soldiers. And people say, why? You can cut money that way. Well, the suicide rate is really increased amongst our military. And when I know that a caring volunteer has delivered a birthday cake to that young Marine or young soldier, we know that that Marine soldier knows somebody cares about him. And that may be the turning point for them not to do something drastic. We have reading programs for the children and their parents. We have 2 very strategic initiatives. One of them is working with the North Carolina Reading Association, delivering reading and study skills programs for military parents and their children, pre-K, elementary, and middle school. We did 5 locations last fall, and we will do 5 more this spring. And those in Raleigh, Charlotte, Fort Bragg, Jacksonville, and Seymour Johnson location, where we take the teachers, they have a standard curriculum, and they give tools that parents can use to help educate their kids as they're doing things. So that's one very strategic initiative. And another strategic initiative that we're hopefully to launch a beta satellite USO center on a college campus. I'm not ready to tell you which one yet, but co-locating with the Veteran Service Organization so that we can provide not just the normal services of that home away from home, but also be a resource, because suicide rates are up, particularly among the GI Bill students as they're transitioning back. They're having a problem acclimating. They may have PTSD or TBI issues. They may not understand the the VA system. So why not become a resource to point them in the right direction? And so that'll be a very specific USO satellite center that we hope to launch this fall. More to follow on that one. So there's a lot that we do and across the state, and needless to say, with racing, we are the go-to organization to put people in the seats at the Charlotte Motor Speedway or at the Hurricane Games. The organizations know to come to us because they know that we are working day in, day out with our men and women in uniform. Last year, 3,500 troops and their families got to go to the Coke 600. Recently, at the Hurricanes game, we had troops there for a special welcome home. So we're active and engaged across this state.
Yes, and being active and engaged across the state day in and day out has added up because you've reached a major milestone. And over the past year, you've celebrated and you've done a lot of things to recognize this special milestone. Talk about what you've done over the past year and perhaps how do you plan to, bring it to a conclusion or the grand finale, if you will?
Well, that's a great question. And like I said, we're very proud that we are the oldest operating USO in the world. And we wanted to celebrate that. And we did a series of events. We did the air show at Seymour Johnson. We went to Grove Park Inn. We also have scheduled an event in Greensboro later this summer. But the capstone one is going to be down in Wilmington on the 31st of March, where we're going to have a marriage renewal ceremony on the deck of the USS North Carolina, followed by a traditional USO event at the Hannah Block Historic USO Center. That is the finale. We're going to have the Forces Command Jazz Band that will be performing down there. We'll have activities. Come down and renew your marriage vows, young and old, on the deck of the North Carolina, and then go over to Hannah Block and help support what we're doing here. That's a great finale for our events.
And of course, in celebrating this 70th anniversary, if folks want to find out more about the events, where can they go?
Well, the best place is our website. It's USO-NC.org, and there's a listing of events, and the one at Wilmington is listed on there very prominently. So we encourage them to go there. And that website will show you how you can get in contact with myself or how you can help donate, whether it's in time, talent, or treasure. All the above are vital to our organization.
John Falkenbury, President and COO of USO of North Carolina, also Colonel of the, retired Colonel of the Army. We thank you so very much for talking with us, and we also thank you for your service as well.
Well, thank you very much, and you guys do a great job really telling the story of the USO of North Carolina and those that we serve. A statewide organization, both of us are, so we need to help just like you do.
North Carolina Now is made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you who invite you to join them in supporting UNC TV.